Imagine hitting an 80% win rate, not because you're a genius trader, but because you know how the market actually moves. This is exactly what happened when I started using my IFVG strategy. It's simple, it's precise, and when you combine it with a rule of taking no more than 2 trades a day, it can really change everything. So today, I'm gonna break down your trades, how this strategy works, how it's consistent, and how limiting your trades actually boosts your win rate instead of holding you back. And before we begin, this is the perfect time to tell you guys about FundedNext. I'm gonna make this less than 20 seconds, but one of my students told me that they got paid $1,000 extra because they didn't get their payout within 24 hours, which FundedNext will pay you if they don't pay you out in 24 hours. So I started looking at the firm and they have 1 day to pass and you can get a payout within 3 days. I just bought a bunch of accounts, so I'm gonna keep you guys updated. And it's a firm that has been around for a while now, and I'm never gonna partner with a firm that's never been around for a while. So go check them out. So let me get started with just a quick breakdown of the strategy. This is an example of one play that you could have taken. Now, this is the 3-minute time frame, and I get a lot of questions on what time frame do you use. And I'm gonna tell you now, time is fractal. This works in every single time frame. This can even work in the weekly, but if you're taking in the weekly, you're gonna target monthly targets. If you're taking in the 3-minute, you're going to target 15-minute targets, like 15-minute highs and lows. If you're using it on the 1 minute, then you're going to target 5 to 15-minute highs and lows. So it just depends on what time frame you're on, but theoretically it works in every time frame. Now, what do I look for when I trade the strategy? Well, the first thing I pretty much look for is some sort of liquidity sweep. Okay, so every single time I'm going to take a trade or any sort of trade in general, I always want us to sweep some sort of low, okay, have some sort of manipulation leg, or, you know, maybe it's like a higher time frame low over here. In this case here, we have a low day, we swept low day, okay, and then we get our entry. Okay, but what is the actual strategy? Where do you enter? So I typically enter on the close of the candle. Okay, a lot of people ask like why I don't enter in the retracement, because sometimes you're not going to get the retracement and I'd rather sacrifice RR a little bit to get in. If you get in the retracement though, you can have a way higher RR. So that's up to you. The second thing I look for is a bearish fair value gap, that sweeps liquidity, that's like a strong bearish candle, and then like a strong bullish candle back over it. Okay, so just like this. And I like this to stand out. I like to, you know, be able to see this when I'm 10 feet away from my screen, because if I don't, it's probably not obvious. And again, it's got that like V-shaped look. Okay, if you look at the letter V, it looks like a letter V. Now, stop loss, I usually do a, you know, close below. So if we close back below the IFVG, I do a stop loss. So I kind of guesstimate a little bit. So I kind of just do it here. And usually sometimes we'll close here and then sometimes we'll close here. So sometimes it'll balance out. You can do a hard stop at the low, but you're going to be sacrificing a lot of RR when we're not going to likely go back down there if we have a really good setup. Okay. Now targets, I literally just target like the next obvious high or low. So like this would be the next obvious high, right? That would be my first CP. And then, you know, maybe I target, you know, this high here because there's, you know, looks like there's a little bit trend line liquidity here. I have a lot of other videos explaining pools of liquidity. But yeah, this is trend line liquidity and then like the next obvious high. So I'd like look to target this high. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I'm going to keep it very simple. Now, here is a trade that I actually took today. You can see right here. You can see I executed right when we closed, and I actually scaled half my position at this next obvious high because I actually was bearish, but I was looking for a quick scalp here. But you can see we swept this internal low, and there was also a big low to the left. We have a nice V-shaped recovery. We close above the bearish gap here. I get in when we close, target here, leave a runner gets stopped to break even. And you can see I made about $2,000 on my Apex accounts today, which is kind of cool. Here's another trade I took, another 1R. And then here's another trade. You can see there's an IFVG right here. And here's another trade. And this trade actually lost. I'm just showing you that the system's not perfect, but it does have a very high win rate. Now, the cool part about this is it's a very mechanical strategy, but the more you trade, the more experience you get, the more discretionary you're going to get as well. You can see my indicator actually alerts this, and this is fully mechanical. Okay, the link for that is in the description if you want to check it out. But the point of this video is not to advertise this indicator, but it just goes to show you that like this can be mechanical. But is there a reason why this long works when the indicator alerts it and this short doesn't work? Well, yeah, context. For example, this short is way too low to take, and this long makes sense because we're very low and deep in discount. So even if the bias was still bearish, we're expecting some sort of retracement here anyways. Here's a fourth trade I took, which was a win. And here's a fifth and sixth trade I took. And this was actually a loss, but it wasn't really a loss. I just executed this wrong. We didn't really close below the inversion to the left, and I got out because I was scared because I was in Japan. I didn't really want to stress about my position. I ended up re-entering, and then I hit a way bigger win than the loss was anyways. So this will happen sometimes too. And out of 6 trades, you can see 1 was a loser, 1 I actually messed up on, and the 4 others were wins. So about an 80% win rate in just my last 5 trades alone. But does 5 trades really mean anything? No. And if you think that, click off this video right now because I promise you, you need thousands of trades backtested. I literally have backtesting videos all over my YouTube. You should go forward test this for yourself. And by the way, there is one more thing I do want to mention. I basically have this strategy where I move my stop to break even when a certain internal high gets hit. So for example, when I enter a trade like this on the close, I go break even at the next internal high. Where's the next internal high? Right here. So I go break even here. And it just kind of saves me. I backtested a lot to where I know if we hit the break even and then we go back down to the entry, we're likely going to stop you out and you're going to lose. Like for example, this trade right here. There's a 1 minute inversion. You kind of combine both these bearish gaps. It was a very good play. And you can see here's the risk. Your target would have maybe been this high inside this red gap over here. Where do I go break even? Well, I'll probably go break even here. And what happens? This completely gets destroyed and the break even thankfully saves me. If you can only take away one thing from this video, it's this. Your strategy does not define your results. Your discipline defines your results. This IFVG strategy that I teach will give you very powerful entries, but sticking to 2 trades max a day is what's going to turn that money into actual profits long term. The more I trade, the worse I get and the lower my win rate is. That being said, this video is going to come to an end here. Go backtest this. What I'm saying is true for me. It may not be true for you because you need to backtest what I'm saying. Trust in yourself, not me, based off your own experience. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscription if you want to see more videos like this soon. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.